This is Santasia Bullock for the motivational interview assignment. Hello, my name is Santasia, and I would just like to first start off by saying thank you for taking the time out and doing this interview with me. Would you mind just briefly introducing yourself?
Sure, I'm Juanita Jeffries and I'm 20 years old.
Thank you. So I would just like to start off with asking you. It's a pretty broad question, and we'll just go from there. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So I would like to just start off by asking you, what is an issue you feel needs to be changed? So this issue it could be social, personal, whatever you feel. Whatever is the first thing that came to your mind when I just asked you that question.
That's a good one. I gotta think about that.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Say, stereotypes.
Stereotypes, okay. And what's your personal definition of stereotypes?
Being judged off of either a look, the way you talk, or anything. Can I give you an example?
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, go ahead.
There was this one time I was meeting my family at a restaurant, PF Chang's in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I was sitting on the bench waiting for them. I was in the resting area right in front of the host stand, and one of the servers came up. We had a large party. It was a party of 12, and one of the servers, who I guess was taking our table, he walked up and seen all my family outside, and he automatically looked at them and said, "Oh, I'm good off of them." Like, he didn't want to serve us because of our appearance, because we're Black.
Wow.
So I feel like if he didn't jump to the assumption that, like, maybe he probably thought that we weren't going to tip good because we were Black, or maybe that we were ghetto, but our family tips very well, and we are very classy. So to be judged like that, and to hear how servers think and talk behind closed doors, was just not right.
Right. And I appreciate your willingness to be so open about this topic. I can tell it's something you're very passionate about and something that really bothered you.
Yes, it did. I don't wish that on anyone, because it honestly disgusted me when I heard that.
I'm so sorry
Like,
that.
I wanted
Oh
I
yes,
wanted
I'm
to
sorry.
call a manager up there, but I'm not one of those to just, like, because maybe he would have lost his job after that. So I didn't want to make him lose his job. I just wish that he would have corrected his words and his actions.
Right. So
Especially since he didn't know I was a part of. Sorry.
no. I'm sorry.
Especially
Go
since
ahead.
especially since he didn't know that I was a part of the party of 12. So he was just talking and didn't know who was around that knew them. So it's like, do they talk like that all the time about people?
Right. And it kind of leads you to think. It makes you like second guess every atmosphere in every environment that you're in. Like, are they talking about me
Right.
because of how I look? Right. I once again, I do appreciate your openness and your willingness to even speak on this subject, because I can tell it's something that's very important to you.
Yes, yes, it is.
So if it's okay with you and if you're comfortable, would you just tell me? I know you kind of touched on the subject, but could you just tell me how it made you feel a little bit more?
I was honestly disgusted with the person, and I kind of didn't want to eat at the restaurant anymore because of how the employees were talking.
Right.
Like, that just made me think, what are they doing in the back, or what are they saying in the back about the people in the front?
Right.
I was disgusted. I didn't want them to have my money, because they needed our money. We don't need theirs.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he was like, he's good off of them, we should have been good off of him, because he needs our money for him to survive. We're there to pay him.
Right.
So, yeah, I was just disgusted with the whole situation.
Yes, your feelings are completely valid. Honestly, I support you on that one. The way that you were treated was disgusting. It was ridiculous, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Thank you.
So, so I know you said that the stereotypes. This is something you've experienced personally. Do you know any social stereotypes that also led to led to, how do I word this? I know you said that you were disgusted. have you heard of another stereotype that kind of contributed to that disgust? Like maybe you heard of it, but you were like, oh, maybe it wouldn't happen to me. I'm just curious if you've heard of something else. It wasn't something that had to directly affect you, but
Um, a stereotype I can say. I know some jobs don't allow you to wear um, hair dye or natural hair or box braids, which is more of an African American hairstyle. They don't let you be free for that because it's not a professional look. That's also a stereotype.
right. Have you
Like,
had
I
the
can't wear
experience
my
this?
hair a certain way because you guys want me to look a certain way.
Right.
I can't look like me because you want me to look like someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that.
It is a bit of a slap in the face too, because it's the certain I've seen that myself. So certain guidelines from a job, they'll tell you can't wear hoop earrings, or
Right,
your dread, you can't have dreads. Your braids have to
right.
be a certain length. I understand. I've seen that. So you're completely, you're valid with
And
that
all
argument too.
the guidelines in the work area, like when they tell you can't have your hair like this, you can't wear this, you can't wear that. It's all towards the black community because you don't see any Caucasians or Hispanics doing the same thing as us. It's like they want to, what is it called?
Take your time.
Um, it's like they don't want us African Americans to be us in this free country that we live in.
Right. They don't want African Americans to be African Americans, but they're okay with certain races profiting off of African American culture.
Right.
Okay. You're, as well, I'll say it once again, you're very, your arguments and the way you feel, you're 100% entitled to feel that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I know with a certain stereotype that I know that is very prominent in the media contributes to police brutality. So they'll police officers will pull over a person of color, and
Mm-hmm.
the worst case scenario is it ends in death. And while I say worst case scenario, it happens a lot. So there are a lot of cases when
Right.
a case like that has ended with someone dying or someone being seriously injured, someone being shot. And a lot of the times, I know a lot of the outrage comes from the stereotype, because when these people are being injured or they're being murdered, they're unarmed.
Right.
So I know you briefly, I picked up on our conversations with you saying about the stereotypes and about your family and the restaurant and how they kind of, you know, singled you out because you were black. They didn't want your table. So I picked up off of that you are African American. So I would like to ask you this question, and if you're not comfortable answering it, just let me know, and we'll just keep going. But
Okay.
with those types of stereotypes, with the police brutality, a lot of black men being murdered,
Mm-hmm.
innocent black men, unarmed black men being murdered by cops. Does it make you as a black woman afraid to go out in public? And I'd also like to branch off with that question. Does it make you as a black woman who will someday, possibly have a black son scared to live in this nation?
Definitely. My younger brother right now, he's 6 years old and scared once he hears police sirens.
Wow.
Right, and I can't imagine one day having my husband go outside and never coming back because of a mistake a cop made, thinking that he was someone because he's black, or thinking that he had something because he's black and
Mhm.
killing him. Or my son going outside for a jog in our neighborhood and never coming back.
Right.
Like, I can't imagine that. I won't.
And it's sad because there's so many people, that felt that way, that they couldn't imagine it, and it happened to them. And it's just something you see, and it's like, oh, I don't feel like that'll happen to me, but at the same time, it's happening. So I understand it a lot.
And another thing is that when white men commit crimes, they're always arrested. No type of physical force to them.
Mm-hmm.
No injuries to them at all. Like there be mass shootings at schools, at churches. The white man will just get arrested.
Right.
A black man will have drugs on him and will get shot 16 times.
Right.
When he did nothing to harm anyone.
Mm-hmm.
A white man can kill 60 people in one building and walk out in handcuffs, uninjured.
Right. And I see that kind of branches into your original question. I mean, your original answer of stereotypes, and I could tell by the tone of your voice that it's something that really upsets you.
Yes.
Well, I don't have any solutions for it now. And I'm so sorry for that. But what I would like to say is, once again, I appreciate your willingness so much to be so open about this topic, because it is a very hard topic. People are with your answer with stereotypes and the way it's branched off, we're going into death, the death of innocent people. And I'm so thankful to you for sharing your feelings in words with me.
Yes, no problem. Love is making a change in this world.
Yes, and I hope that we do get there someday. But I would like to just once again thank you for taking the time out to do this motivational interview with me.
No problem. Thank you for interviewing me, taking the time for me.
Of course, of course. That's what I'm here for. Anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.